What's good, yo? What's good? Boy Mike says, Speaky Club Podcast, Spender Boy representative. Here with my good brother. You got Goon's Club Garley in this bitch.
Yeah.
Goon, Larry King of the motherfucking underground.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Not bad, man. I'm excited to dig into this.
Or likewise, man. All right, today we doing S.O.N. Grana's Eyes album review in stores. Well, not in stores, but online. July 23rd.
Yes.
This Friday, man. And I got the link to cop the physicals in the description. The link to the single in the description. We'll get into that in a little while. And, man, I got on the S.O.N. because of Luke the Goon. I obviously heard him on Psycho Volume 1. Didn't know who the dude was. It's in my top 10 Zoo songs. Move Back. Samples the late great prodigy of Mobb Deep. That's why I was fucking with that heavy. That beat is fire. He killed his shit too.
Yeah, that was when he was going by Scrub King. He's gone through a couple different kind of variations,
Yeah.
And he settled on this one, which is pretty dope.
Oh yeah, man. So this album drops July 23rd, as I said earlier. Ain't about to break into this album right now, man. That's the When Grana's Eyes. And it starts off with a terrible fate. That's the one walking in the rain, singing Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds sadistic. I fucks with it. Then we get someone talking and like bass masking or some shit.
Yeah, some backmasking, and there's like some rain, and then there's like you can hear like some weeping and stuff.
Yeah, girl crying. That's what I put.
Mm-hmm.
Dope intro. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's an intro, like you said. Yeah. He's singing Amazing Grace. There's not a whole lot to say about it because it leads right into, we start getting into the meat of the actual album.
Yeah, man. Second track, Grana's Eyes, man. This is on some cold leader shit. The beat is banging. I fuck with the female singing on the joint. Love the thunder and rain samples as well. A great way to officially start the album song-wise. I fuck with it.
Yeah. It was the first single. We should mention that Billy Obey produced the whole album.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, it's this is a good way to start the album. And the album it's kind of a story. It kind of breaks up a little bit, but it's a story. So like there are many ways to interpret the album, and like from what I've heard, there's like a couple different people that have different interpretations. But in this album specifically, the album titles I think tell a story of themselves. And Grana's Eyes, I feel like is like a terrible fate is. I'll get into my whole interpretation of the album later, but Grana's Eyes obviously is the title track, the first single. It kind of prepares you for the album.
Right. Then we get Evil. Man. Shit is fire, man. I was lucky enough to see this video earlier and hear the song featuring what is it?
MJ Lovecraft. MJ Lovecraft. Yeah.
Man, plain and simple. This is that real wicked shit. Okay? We don't hear much in the underground nowadays other than Almighty Allah's Lou. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy on the second verse had a dope verse, MJ Lovecraft. Amazing song, though. Evil laughing at the end. Shit was dope. My motherfucking homeboy looked the Goon in the video.
Yeah. That was it's a really dope video. It was a lot of fun to shoot. This is a banger. This is like an anthem song. This is like you're in the crowd. This is a crowd reaction song. It's definitely a live performance song, because it's like EVIL and the whole crowd singing it back. There's a lot of really dope verses. I can't remember if it's first or third. The first verse is S.O.N. Second is MJ Lovecraft, I believe. And then third is back with S.O.N. It's like, I walk in, set fire to the Vatican as I invoke the powers of the spirit they combat, speaking ancient tomes of Latin, levitating while I'm rapping. I am he, I am we, I don't mean to let it happen. It's a lot of dope shit like that. It's the whole album is kind of like a ode to H.P. Lovecraft, and there's a lot more tracks coming up where you'll get that. But yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Yeah, this shit knocks. Shout out to Billy Obey on the production, man.
Yeah.
That shit is hard. And now we get track 4, King of Dark Energy. Man, I love that. Oh hell, son.
Yeah.
The King of Dark Energy. Very dark track, man. Seriously, some of the best wicked shit I heard in fucking years. Dead ass serious. Um, how does it feel to be helpless, reversing the road, slide this blade from your belly to the tip of your nose? That shit is fucking fire.
Yeah.
Love that. You
Yeah.
know? This is that real horror movie on wax type shit, man. Like, honestly. And
Yeah, it is.
niggas know how critical I am.
Yeah. That's
So
why.
I'm
Yeah.
giving it a buck right here. This shit is fire.
Yeah. With the blood of slit wrists you called upon this, he grant you eyes to see past the nonsense. Inside its contents lies the truth. Now unto them do as they have done unto you. Feed the maggots, let them rise, cleanse the flesh and become the flies. Those who inflict the abuse will die, and through their pain he will grant us eyes. Yeah.
Oh hell, son.
Yeah. It's kind of I don't even know how to describe the song because it goes through like these really like kind of intense, and then the chorus is like this almost, how do I describe this, like choir type thing, you know what I mean? Like chanting. It's kind of like a chanting chorus.
That shit's fire, man.
Yeah.
I fucks with it. Definitely a stand out for me on the record. 5th track, you get Breathe. Very dope song. S.O.N tells various stories on people dealing with hardships. This is a prime example of doing the wicked shit, but knowing how to actually rap and create content with actual substance. You know?
Yeah, this is probably like the most, I don't want to say like impactful song on the album, if that makes sense. It was the second single, and like each verse is like kind of like a different story, like a different story of someone who's going through hardships. Like the first one is like a daughter who has like an abusive stepfather. The second one is like a addiction kind of story.
Yeah.
And then the last verse is kind of directed to you. It's to the listener. It's like, are you lost in your mind? Are you destructive by nature? Would you burn down the world just to inhale the vapors? Are you suffering from any kind of mental illness daily to the point where you push everyone so far away that you're sitting by yourself, soaking in the fire, ready to die? Well, time to meet your dark messiah. Like, it's really, like I said, it's got a lot of meaning behind that song.
So dope. I fucks with it. Then we get, what is it? Decent?
The Descent.
Descent.
Yeah.
Just a skit. The preacher talking about hell. That's what I take it as anyway.
Yeah. This is actually really, I like, it's the intro for the next song, which is The Mouth of Madness. If you're listening to this with headphones, it's really wild. Especially the beginning. I don't even know how they do that in the beginning, because it's like, it's really strange. But then, yeah, the last part is like a preacher sample where he's like talking about hellfire, and you know, and there's hell, there's fire in hell, and actually when he uses this live, it's really dope because you just hear the preacher, you know, and everybody's like standing around. It's really fucking dope. But it's the perfect intro for The Mouth of Madness, which is the next track.
Mouth of Madness. This shit is incredible. I fucking love it. My favorite song on the album, I'll say right now.
Yeah, it's really up there for me. Definitely, yeah.
Just a trip through hell, in my opinion. That's what I take it as. Fantastic storytelling. And the way he breaks down the choruses. The chorus. Oh, it's fire, man.
Yeah, it's I actually wrote down Movie for the Blind because like it's so descriptive, and he tells you like every step through this like H.P. Lovecraft alternate dimension with like crows crying and demons, and it's a story where you're kind of walking through this otherworldly realm, and trees can walk and like bite you, and there's giants walking around, and you eventually get to this room where there's this hooded figure. He has no face, but he points to a door, or he points you towards a church. And at the end of the song, you walk into the church and you shut the door, and it leads right into the next track.
Great breakdown, brother. You listen to this album more than I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fire, though.
Yeah, it's yeah, like you said, it's one of my favorites as well. Because I'm a huge, I mean, I have a Lovecraft tattoo. Like I'm a huge
Yeah.
Lovecraft guy. So like this is almost better than any Lovecraft movie I've seen, to be honest.
Then you get track 8, Amen, featuring Billy Obey and Dre Black of Allah Zulu. Incredible song. One of the best Dre Black verses ever. In my
Yeah,
opinion. That shit's
yeah,
so
this is
hard.
like the boys really kill it when they do like features, and this one is no exception. Yeah, they both go hard. um Joe, once a king in yellow, now all in red. Slit your wrist to this, suicide is love, give a fuck how you die, who am I to judge? Oh man, yeah,
That's,
everybody goes really hard on this one.
uh,
This is why I said my favorites. It's really hard.
S.O.N. body shit too, you know.
Yeah.
And then Billy with "This is more than just logo on the front of your T-shirt" line. That shit was
Yeah,
fire.
this is us versus them. Yeah, and Bill's singing actually in the very beginning is really cool too. The
Yeah,
beginning of his verse, he sings this little ditty, I guess you could say, and it's really cool too. Yeah, everybody really bodies this song. The beat is really killer. And this is kind of a callback, with Move Back. You know what I mean? It's kind of bringing his history with the boys, to this track,
yeah.
which I also really like.
What a standout.
Yeah, for sure.
This fuck, man. Then we get the bridge. That's the one spitting on that like double time flow. Authentic wicked shit. It's fucking a great song too.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite songs. He performs this song live quite a bit. It's like join us, feed us. Why do you run? You are ours forever. And it's the crows that are chasing this guy. I guess he's dabbled in Sumerian witchcraft, and I think they've killed his family, and so he's trying to kill himself before the crows kill him. And he's running. He's trying to jump off this bridge, and there's the line where slit my wrist first to make sure it works. And so he's like, and it's like bones are cracking, and he's just crawling to jump off this bridge. And then finally, it's actually about the middle of the song, he jumps off the bridge, and you hear it like, oh.
Yeah, man.
And
Like wicked shit with substance, man.
Yeah.
SoundCloud rap niggas out there sending me your shit. I ain't gonna listen to it because it sounds like some MySpace Juggalo rapper shit from fucking 2006. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, the horrorcore.com rappers.
Yeah, this ain't that. This is authentic shit.
Yeah, this is actually kind of based off a true story. I guess what happened was when he was younger, there was a story of a man that jumped off a bridge. And so he just kind of like made up his own story in his head about how it happened. And that's what the song is, The Bridge.
That's dope. All right, track 10, we get What's That Noise? That's the one of some dope storytelling shit, talking about transforming into a demon. That's what I took it as anyway. Great track, bro. This is that, when wicked shit was real, when storytelling was fucking a part of it, Dope shit.
He like transforms into like I thought of it as like a Lovecraftian horror, like I think at one point he says his eyes are like an abyss, and it's a slow story because he gets into his apartment and then like he starts hearing this noise and he's like, what the fuck's that noise, is the chorus. And it just slowly drives him insane, and his body starts to morph and change, and he just, like you said, he turns into like a demon or like a Lovecraftian being.
Yeah.
And he gets hungry, and I won't ruin to you what he eats, but it'll probably upset some people. Yeah, it's a dope track. Like you said, it's a real storytelling track, and it really kills in headphones as well. He's got the voice, he starts turning the demon, his voice starts changing. It's really dope.
Oh yeah, that's a great song. Stand Up For Me as well. Then we get track 11, The Order of the Blue Rose, skit where S.O.N is talking about like just some cult leader Jim Jones type feels I got from it. That shit is dope. Yeah,
it's kind of like like I said, I'll go through my interpretation at the end, but this is kind of part of that. He's kind of saying, hey, you've made it this far, congratulations for braving, the sights that you've seen so far, Yeah.
So then track 12, man, one of my favorites as well. We get Feed the Beast, straight banger. Love the beat by Billy Obey. Great track. I fucks with it.
Yeah, it was the third single and the first music video that he had done, which was filmed by Loki. Yeah, this is another killer song. There's actually a breakdown that I really love where he's like, "Send me to hell when I die. The abyss has swallowed my eyes. Black out the sun, bring locusts and flies." Like, there's a whole there's a very kind of similar theme that you're seeing run through this, where it's like dark, wicked shit that we've been missing for a really long time.
Yeah.
And he's got another breakdown where he goes, "So with the lips of Judas, I talk you through this. Life's a nuisance, so tie your nooses and kill yourself just so it's feeding me. This evil deity will tell you what the truth is." It's so dope. And then my favorite line, maybe on the whole album, maybe my favorite line on the whole album is the very last line of the song where he says, "Y'all kept asking for the devil, but instead you're faced with the sun. It's done." I just love that line. I just think it's so dope. There's a couple of really cool play on words with sun. I think Joe did it as well, and I know S.O.N did it earlier in the album as well. It's an easy word to play on when your name's S.O.N.
Yeah. Then we get Eye for an Eye. S.O.N speaking on people doing evil deeds and then dealing with the consequences after. Love that line, sin for sin, no time to cry. It's blood for blood and an eye for an eye. Amazing shit. One of my favorite songs. This, I'll get to my whole thoughts at the end, but this is something we need in the underground. And it really blew me away. I'll put it that way. Put it nicely. Like, this amazing song.
Yeah, Eye for an Eye is really good.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs where, like, if you're pissed off at somebody, you put it on and you just like, "Eye for an Eye," you just get really pump yourself up, like, fuck this dude. Yeah, this has a really dope beat as well. The chorus, like I said, the chorus is really fucking good. Yeah, and there's a line about I didn't write it down, unfortunately, but where he's filling the syringe up with all your evil deeds, and then you inject it in him. So yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, great track. Then we get The Blessing. Incredible beat by Billy Obey. That's someone just talking on some wicked shit. This is all I really wrote down, you know what I'm saying? It's a dope song.
Yeah.
Stand out for me again.
Yeah, it was kind of like an incantation that he created and recorded it. It's kind of like, you went through all this and now he's blessing you kind of at the end of the album. It's kind of like an outro, but we have one more song. Which it works actually really well because this is kind of like he's blessing you after hearing all of this, and then the last track.
Yeah, and the last track is The Hive. This shit is dope, man. It sounds like S.O.N is welcoming us to a cult or some Jim Jones Guyana shit, drinking the motherfucking purple Kool-Aid, bodies piling and shit. Oh man, fire.
Yeah, yeah. This is when like I said, this is like the blessing. And then the Hive is like where the blessing is like, it's like, I'm trying to think of the line, but you've been granted eyes basically at this point, and you've seen, I'll get into my interpretation, I guess. So the beginning of the album, the first track is called A Terrible Fate. So that's kind of goes back to Breathe. Like, you've been living this life and you've kind of had all these bad things happen to you. So S.O.N is taking you in, and he's granting you eyes with the title of the second track, Grant Us Eyes. So he takes you through all these things, showing you the horrors of the world. Breathe, abused stepdaughter, addicts, the mouth of madness, the bridge, the man who used Sumerian witchcraft and killed himself to get over it. All these things. So then the blessing, he's blessing you. He's taking all these things away, you know what I mean? Cleansing your soul, basically. And then you come out of the blessing with everyone who's heard, the word, I guess, so to speak. And you're joining everyone else who has been granted eyes. And, you know, that's the Hive. You're basically like, the Hive is kind of like the fan base, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my very loose interpretation. And that's without any insight. That's just me being like, well, you know, this looks somewhat. But even if you don't read into it like that, and you don't, and you're just like, I just want to listen to it for the music. This is the wicked shit that I think everybody's been waiting for and excited to hear for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, great way to break it down, brother. You know, S.O.N. Granda's Eyes out July 23rd. My thoughts on the record. It's a 5 mic wicked shit classic. You know, 5 mics. The Sauce gave that out back in the day. This is 5 mics for me. It brought me back to when an era of wicked shit was just everything was fire. You know what I'm saying? Had the clowns in their bag, Twisted, Isham, early tech. That era, shit was just like amazing. You know?
Yeah, like if you liked like Lotus or like early Isham or like we're saying like the real wicked shit like Isham Nadas, like Gravediggers, Flatliners, like that kind of like real like wicked shit that's also not stabby kill horrorcore.
That's what this is. And half the motherfuckers can't rap. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And for me to give you 5 mics, it means it's fire. Okay, I be shitting on my boy that rap. You know what I mean? Nigga, you trash. Right? I just keep it a buck. This shit ain't that.
Yeah.
And top 3 songs for me, you know, every time I review an album, I give my top 3 songs. So I would say Mouth of Madness, Amen featuring Billy Obey and Joey Black, and probably Evil. It's hard, but that would be my top 3. How about you, Luke?
Yeah, mine would probably be Mouth of Madness. Mouth of Madness is probably my number 1 song, just because I'm such a H.P. Lovecraft fan. And this song, like I said when we actually talked about the track, it's like walks you through everything. It's so dope.
Fire.
Amen. And I love the bridge. I don't know what it is about that song. I just really love the bridge. I think it's the storytelling. But What's That Noise is right up there too. I really love What's That Noise as well, because it's another like really dope kind of storytelling track as well. So that's my top 4.
Okay. Yeah, man. I can wait to get the physical copy. Listen to that shit on streaming until it touches down. It's gonna be on streaming?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit after the release date, but it will be on YouTube the day of release.
Word. So there you have it. S.O.N. Granda's Eyes. Speak Club Podcast, Goon's Club Gallery. Follow my boy. Got any drops, Luke? Underground Catacombs.
Yeah, undergroundcatacombs.com. Like I said, if you want to pre-order a copy, legionrealm.net will take you right there.
Yep, right in the description too. And the video for Evil in the description. Yeah, Luke's video will be in the description, like his channel, I meant to say. But yeah, man. There you have it. Boy Mike says, Speak Club Podcast. We out this bitch. Peace.